back here on Open Sports page, and right now I am honored and thrilled to have one of the greatest players in the history of the National Football League, maybe the most prolific running back of all time when it comes to running the football and catching passes out of the backfield, and that is the all-time great Marshall Faulk. Good afternoon, Marshall. How are you, buddy?
What's up, Sid the Kid?
It's good to talk to you as always, and you know, you and I have talked, of course, on my radio show many, many times over the years, but to have you involved here at opensports.com and have you playing Tackle the Pros with guys like John Elway and Roger Craig and Jason Sehorn and those types of names, it is a thrill to have you here, Marshall, at Open Sports.
Without a doubt, it's good to be on board.
And it's fun stuff. I mean, the fantasy stuff is cool because you were a guy, Marshall, that certainly for fantasy football players, they could appreciate your career.
Without a doubt, you know, and fantasy, it's growing. This thing it has taken on a life of its own. It's bringing more viewers to the game, which is what we want. And when you think about the fact that if you can convince people to play fantasy football, you have to watch football in order to play fantasy football. So very interesting. People are getting into it. People that didn't even know nothing about the sport, now they're into football because they play fantasy.
I think you're right. I think it brings in an added interest and intrigue to the game. Now, a couple of days ago on the same exact show, Marshall, I had Roger Craig on. He was the first back ever back in '85 with the 49ers to get 1,000 yards on the ground and 1,000 yards receiving in the same season. You became the only other back to do that later in your career. What does that take? What is the workload like, Marshall, to get 1,000 on the ground and 1,000 receiving in the same year?
It takes a lot of hard work. You got to play a lot of plays, a lot of carries, a lot of catches. You're definitely being dependable. You're a reliable guy to where your team, your teammate, your offensive coordinator knows that he can count on you. And there's just not a lot of opportunity to mess up. I mean, you can't drop a lot of balls because you have to think the teams that Roger Craig played on. You know, you have some stars on that team. So for him to do it, for him to catch the balls and to get 1,000 yards receiving was phenomenal. And I know for me it was definitely a challenge. I had Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, and Isaac Keem, Ricky Pro. We were spreading the ball around. I was just lucky enough to be as effective as I was playing with those guys.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned the guys you played with because I still maintain in the 30-something years I've watched football, Montana's offense, Marshall, and your offense in St. Louis, the two best offenses that I've ever seen. And your quarterback, when you guys were having success and going to consecutive Super Bowls, Kurt Warner, still playing very, very well here, Marshall, now as a starting quarterback with Arizona. They get set for the Washington Redskins this weekend. How about your former quarterback, Kurt Warner, still lighting it up?
I like it, man. I like it. And now the one thing that had plagued him was fumbling the football. And Kurt kind of lost the grip of the football because of his thumb, and the fact that he wears two gloves now has really helped him out. I saw something in last week's game when they were playing the Dolphins, and Kurt's probably the best at this. He identifies the blitzer. He stands there with the pressure on him. He'll find the mismatch and deliver the ball in perfect stride, just like he did for the 79-yard touchdown to Anquan Bolden when he recognized that they had a linebacker covering him. The Dolphins had a linebacker covering Anquan Bolden up the hash, running straight down the seam. Kurt stares down the blitz of the linebacker, makes the throw as if nothing was bothering him. The guy is very cool under pressure.
He is, and he reads those defenses well, and you're right, that's not a very good job by the Dolphins. Let me ask you about those St. Louis, Marshall, where you did star all those years, Indy, St. Louis. The Rams are really having a difficult time. Got blown out by the Giants last week. Again, off to an 0-2 start. What happens here with Scott Linehan and this Ram football team, Marshall?
Well, you just feel for Scott because you think about his first year with the regime change. They were just trying to figure everything out. And then the second year, you get a bunch of guys hurt. And then year three, you start off 0-2 and you play defending Super Bowl champs and then the hot Philadelphia Eagles team, and they put up almost 80 points on you between the two, and you have yet to be in the red zone. You've only scored one touchdown. Things just aren't looking good for you right now. You top that into the fact that you have an owner that's taken over for his mom who passed away, and he's dealing with that. He wants to win. The city wants you to win, and things aren't going good for Scott right now.
No, it's a rough go in St. Louis. One more here, we'll let you run. Again, we're talking to Marshall Faulk, playing Tackling the Pros right here at Open Sports, here on Open Sports page. On the way out, I spoke to Michael Strahan a couple of weeks ago, and he's doing a terrific job now on Fox, Marshall. And you've made that seamless transition from a big-time player to a guy now that is part of the media, doing a great job on the NFL Network. You and Dion and Sterling Sharp and all those guys. Seems like you really enjoy yourself out there. Is that fair to say?
It's fun, man. At NFL Network, we're all one big family. We get along. We all like working together. I wish I could say the transition is simple. It takes some work. It's taken some transitioning and some getting used to. And I think the toughest thing is criticizing your peers. But I found out that when you're honest about what you say and you believe what you say, most often the guys that you're criticizing, they say, you know what, I'm upset, but he's right.
Yeah.
And that's all that they can say. But the transition has been good. Not only am I doing TV, but I'm learning TV. And the NFL Network has done a really good job at growing me and grooming me for where I'm at right now.
Yeah,
which is on Sundays. We started a Sunday morning game day show, game day morning, with Warren Sapp, myself, and Spiro Ditas.
And Adam Schefter. I know Spiro Ditas, by the way, was an update guy with me up in New York years and years ago.
Yeah, I can't believe I left out my information king, Adam Schefter. I can't believe I left him out.
Yeah, Adam's a great guy. And again, you're doing a terrific job, Marshall, and you and I have developed a nice friendship over the years on radio, and I am thrilled to have you here at Open Sports. We're very lucky to have you, buddy. So I look forward to a terrific football season hanging out with you, Marshall. Thank you so much for hopping on today.
All right, Sid. Until we talk next time, man, you be good.
You be good as well. That is the great, and I mean the great, Marshall Faulk. We will come back with the back page right after this.
So you think you can tackle a pro? There's only one way to find out. Click on fantasy at opensports.com.